Today we are speaking about the possibilities that we have to actually impact the course of history. We are speaking about a capacity to actually affect the balance on light and darkness. And the reason why this is a very relevant subject, it's because we have seen resurgence of darkness in the recent times, as if the world had lost the balance somehow, as if darkness has started to take more space than it should. And we are being left with that question, which is how the balance can be lost, first of all. How can we reach to such levels of imbalance? And we don't see that just on based on what we Jewish people are experiencing and going through, but whatever is happening in the world in general. It's concerning for whole humanity, not just for us, not just the events of October 7th. It's really something that we can see on a planetary level. And so, which, brings this question, is, first of all, how can this balance be lost? And what is the part that we play in it? And do we have the power to restore that balance? And if yes, how can we do that? The first aspect that I would like to treat with you this morning, to speak about with you this morning, is how balance can be lost. We know that in this world, in this dimension of duality, God has created space for darkness. We know that in order for this world to be created, for the dimension that we live in, where we have free will, God had to create what we call the Halal HaPanui, which is the empty space in which He had to redraw its presence from it, in order to give us the space to be, to give us the impression that we have free will, and in order for us to have that impression, that illusion somehow that we have free will, He needed to redraw Himself, because if we don't have the sensation that we can live without God, if we don't have the sensation that we are completely independent from God, then free will is not possible. Okay? And so the importance of maintaining the illusion that this world is rolling on its own, maybe based, thanks to nature, that it can actually keep going without the presence of God. It's very important to maintain the sensation that we have free will. And so therefore, everything is set up on this duality paradigm, where there is space for darkness and there is also space for light. Okay? Now, of course, when God created the empty space, the Halal HaPanui, it had to still bring some light within in order to create what was in this empty space, because nothing can be created, nothing can exist without the divine light. And so it had to introduce some divine light inside in order to allow the creation to exist, but this light had to be restricted and directed in a very specific way, in order to maintain the illusion that we are separated from the divine. The way it did it is that He introduced what we call a kav, So it's a line of light, of divine light, within the Chalal HaPanui. So let's say that the Chalal HaPanui is this bubble, and introduce a ray of light. And this ray of light is like introducing the light within in order to create things, okay? Because nothing can be created without the divine light, okay? Now the thing is that in order for the world to contain, to be able to contain this light, it was created within with steps. So there is not only one bubble, but many bubbles, okay? So there are tens bubbles, and we call them the Sphirot. And actually, basically, the ray of light is dispatching light in the first bubble. Whatever is left goes into the second bubble. Whatever is left from this light is going to the third, etc., etc., etc. And this is a system of security that allows this bubble not to explode with the intensity of the light, and to dispatch gradually the light through the different bubbles, okay? And so, of course, in the last bubble, we have the less light. And the last bubble is the one where the illusion of separation is the strongest, okay? So now, in order for this system to be maintained in place, and the proper balance between darkness and light to be maintained, there are some security systems that have been established, okay, in order to make sure that one doesn't take over, so darkness doesn't take over, okay. Part of the security system was to create Adam, because we have free will. So all the people that are on the surface of the earth, they have the free will to contain and to invite within themselves more darkness or more light. And because we have free will, it's quite delicate to actually control who's going to invite more darkness and who is going to invite more light. And that's how we can actually lose balance between darkness and light, how darkness can take over. It's because the people who have free will here, they choose to invite darkness. And so we, human beings, we are receptors. We are containers, and we can contain darkness or light. Now, 5,784 years ago, Adam was created in order to reinforce the security system, because the world has been actually destroyed many times. Not that God decided to destroy it, but it had destroyed itself. Adam was created the last, like only almost 6,000 years ago, in order to be the bridge between all the species that have been introduced on Earth before, okay, including the living human beings that were already, on planet Earth. And Adam came as a different kind of human. He came as a kind of, and this is teaching of Kabala, of course, he came as the sort of human that was designed to contain more light in order to be the bridge between all those species and maintain a cohesion between all the species. Okay? So being the bridge between, why would he be able to be the bridge between all the species? Because he had encoded within himself all the information of everything that has been created before him. Okay? Plus, he had that capacity to be a greater light container and therefore a greater transmuter. Okay? And why I'm speaking about transmutation It's because light has the power to transmute darkness. And this is a very important point that we have to remember, is that when we speak about reestablishing the balance between light and darkness, we are not speaking about destroying darkness. We are speaking about transmuting darkness. Okay, and that's a very important point, and that's something we are doing also during our training in the mentorship program that some of you are following. You know that when we are actually looking to change a pattern, when we are looking to go through healing, through a healing process, what we are looking to do, we are looking to transmute the low vibration energy that is within us. We are not looking to delete or to destroy it. The only thing we can do with senergy is transmuting energy, recycling energy. Okay? And so, in Sefer Bereshit, we have a lot of information about why Adam was created and what he was supposed to do. So when we speak about the descendant of Adam, we speak about the human that are from Adamic lineage, okay, which is different from the other human that are not from Adamic lineage. Some of these humans that are not from Adamic lineage, they come from Neanderthal, they come from the cavemen. There are many different origins of people. Okay. When we speak about Ben Adam, okay, Bnei Adam are the human that come from the Adamic lineage. This specific type of lineage, they are light holders and light workers in potential, all of them. Okay? And all the story that you see in the Bible, for example, okay, all the descendants of Adam, which gave birth to the 70 nations, they are all from Adamic lineage. Okay, so the 70 nations, they are all descendants from Adamic lineage. The thing is that there was a mix between the Adamic lineage with the other people that were living on Earth. And we see this interaction started already from the moment Adam and Chava were created. We see that the snake came. Okay, who was the snake? The snake was one of the powerful leaders of these people that were in place already before Adam and Chava were created. Okay, and he saw the power of Adam and Chava, how much light they were containing, and how much their presence was disturbing the established order, because people thought they were God. People saw the amount of light, and they thought they were divinity. And of course, the powerful people in place, they were not so interested in Adam and Chava making babies and taking over the power. This is what they thought. They felt threatened. Okay, so they wanted to prevent them to have a descendants, and that's how the snake came. The snake, of course, is a symbolic. It's called the snake because the way he came into, the way he introduced himself within the relationship of Adam and Chava, and how he sneaked in, and he came with the intention to confuse Chava and to separate her from Adam. And so therefore we know that after this story, Adam and Chava were separated for 130 years. After the story of the Nachash, of the snake. Now, what we are referring to as the snake in the Torah, it's a consciousness. It's the consciousness of the It's a consciousness that doesn't want Adam and Chava to fulfill their function and to fulfill their role as the role they were supposed to fulfill, which is to be the bridge between the nations and reestablishing, maintaining the order and the peace and balance between light and darkness. So the consciousness of the snake is not interested in this, and therefore is attacking anyone that has this high calling of doing light work, of maintaining, of calling light within the planet. So that's also something we will speak more about later on. Now we are doing a general introduction. I just wanted you to be aware of what we are calling the consciousness of the snake in the Torah and in Kabbalah. And so we know that the intervention of the snake has caused some drastic consequences. And we know that because of that, Adam and Chava went to a lower dimension. So they left Eden, okay? And they went to live into a lower dimension. In this lower dimension, the rules of the game were not the same at all anymore. We see that the Earth itself is not the same. In this dimension, the Earth needs to be worked on a lot in order to give fruits. Where before in Eden, they didn't have to work the earth. They were just, picking up whatever the earth was giving freely and naturally. And in this dimension, everything is harder, okay? The veil that constitutes this illusion of separation is thicker. And so I don't want to enter now too much into the part where Adam actually consciously chose or not to enter that lower dimension in order to go do some reparation there, because this is a very vast subject. I just want to keep it short to the fact that now they are in a lower dimension where their vibrational frequency is much lower, the frequency of the earth is much lower, and even though this is the case, they still have a huge amount, their bodies still contain a huge amount of light. Okay? Now they lost 90% of this light, but still whatever is left is way above whatever we have today. They still have a light body, okay? And they still have a vibrational frequency that is way higher than ours today. Okay? And so we see that this is going to change with Noach. So basically God made a contract with Adam and Chava, and the contract was to maintain this balance and to be a bridge and to be the depository of a certain knowledge that was going to preserve the earth, the planet, let's say, but also the planet and all its system. Now we see that because of the intrusion of the snake, the plan didn't go exactly as planned. And within the children of Adam and Chava, only the last one, Shet, was able to carry the legacy of Adam and Chava. Now, Adam and Chava, they had many other children. And all the descendants, they already start to go to idol worshipping. And not only that, they start mixing with the people that were there, that were not from an Adamic lineage. Okay? Because they saw the daughter of Chava as a very interesting target, as a powerful matrix that was going to create babies with a huge amount of power that they were not used to have before. And so, of course, all of the powerful people from that were already alive when Adam and Chava were created, they were all craving to get one of the descendants of Chava in order to for their descendants. Okay. Now we see that the legacy of Adam and Chava was not actually carried on properly by the descendants, and only Shet carried that legacy, and Shet is the ancestor of Noach. We arrive to the period of Noach now. It's 10 generations after Adam and Chava, but by this time a generation was not like 30 years like today. So we reach to Noach, who is the descendant of Shet, of Adam and Chava and Shet, but through the lineage of Shet. And now we see that the situation of the world has reached such an extent of distortion that God needs to destroy the world. Okay? But the reason why this flood needed to happen, it's because we see that actually the frequency, the general vibrational frequency of the people on the planet was impacting the vibrational frequency of the earth. And because of that, it was lowering the vibrational frequency of the earth, and the earth could not continue to function with such a low vibrational frequency. And so the world had to go through a process of mikveh, of purification, and therefore the flood was fulfilling that purpose, which was to just purify through the water all the earth, all the planet Earth. Now we see that after the flood, God renewed the contract that he had with Adam. He renewed the same contract with Noach. And we see it said, V'ani hakimoti et beriti itcha, and we see that he will use the same words with Avraham. V'ani hakimoti et beriti benni uvencha. So it's always still the same contract that God is establishing, that he tried to establish with Adam, that after he established with Noach, and then later on he will establish with Avraham. Now what happened with Noach? The descendant of Noach was supposed to carry on this the legacy of Adam. The problem is that there was, and we see that God make a promise to Noach, but not just a promise to Noach, he also make a promise to the earth. What the promise that he did to the earth is that I will not curse anymore the earth because of the actions of mankind. So we see that that's a huge shift in the security system. Is that now mankind won't have the freedom anymore to reach to such a level of distortion that it will distort the vibrational frequency of the earth to the point that it has to be destroyed. And so what it means that if we reach to a level of low vibrational frequency that start to be dangerous for the earth, mankind will go first. This is like the new security system is like this. And so we see from here that the vibrational frequency of the human beings have a huge impact on the earth. And so the two frequencies need to keep matching. They need to stay in the same range to remain a proper match for each other. Okay? Now, in the new, after the Mabul, after the flood, God changed the rule and say, since your vibrational frequency impact each other so much, if you start distorting the system too much, we will need to do something with you, but the earth will be maintained. Okay, so now that's the new setting. The problem is that Ham, the third son of Noach, didn't play the game. And I'm not going to start to enter into this story too much. Noach was supposed to have a fourth child who was supposed to be Moshe. Okay?
Huh?
The soul of Moshe was supposed to be born from Noah. And together, Shem, Ham, Yafet, and Moshe, they were supposed to be the perfect combination to maintain a proper cohesion on earth. Okay? And if you take the acronym of the letters of these names, it was supposed to be together Mashiach. Moshe Mem, Shin was Shem, Yafet is the Yud of Mashiach, and Ham, the Chet of Ham. So together they were supposed to be the perfect combination. Now, because Ham kind of played the role of the snake there, he was influenced by the consciousness of the snake. Sorry. He castrated his father, and for which he has been cursed after. So by doing so, he's preventing the fourth child to be born. And therefore, the descendants of Abraham, instead of being born from Moshe, had to be born from Shem. Okay? So now from Shem, we have Esav, Yishmael, and Yaakov, who are actually the ancestors of the Jewish nation, the Western civilization, and the Muslim, the Islamic civilization. Okay, so they all come from the same ancestors now, and originally it was not supposed to be like that. Originally, the descendant of Yaakov, the Bnei Israel, they were supposed to come from a different source. Now, the consciousness of the snake, created that distortion, but never mind. The plan tried to move on. So now, all the descendants of Noach, we see that only the descendant of Shem are really choosing to carry the legacy. But even within this lineage, only Avraham is choosing to carry this legacy. And is that before Noach passed, he actually blessed his children. And when he blessed his children, he gave, actually he only blessed Shem and Yafet because Ham was actually cursed. And so he gave to Yafet, who is the father of the Western civilization, who was Esav. He gave the blessing of prosperity and development, etc. But he gave that blessing through the divine connection with the name Elohim, which is the connection to God through nature. And to Shem, he gave the connection. He gave the blessing through the divine name of Yud Ke Vav He, which is a different type of connection. Okay. So now we know that the descendant of Shem, they're supposed to nurture this connection to the divine through a different type of divine connection than Yafet. Okay, both have an access to divine connection, and then they actually channel the light to the planet from divine connection, but from a different type of channel, from a different form of manifestation of the divine. So Yafet would be through nature and through everything that is within the limit of nature. And Yafet and Shem was required to have that connection with a dimension of the divine that is beyond nature. We see that this is the specific type of connection that is going to be required from Avraham and his descendants. And therefore, Avraham has been given as a sign of the alliance. Avraham has been ordered to do the Brit Milah. The Brit Milah is that alliance that we do on the 8th day of, when we come to life, the 8th day. Why? Because the 8 is a signal, the symbol of infinity. The number 8 is beyond nature. And so whatever is beyond nature is represented by the number 8. And whatever is within the frame of nature is represented by number 7. So Yafet and all the descendants of Avraham who did not actually endorsed the legacy of Avraham, they decided to connect to God through the dimension of Elohim, which is the dimension of the manifestation of God through nature, which is everything that is within number 7. Now, the descendant of Avraham and the one who decided to carry that legacy even more were supposed to connect to God through a relationship that is beyond nature, which means that we are required to go beyond whatever we see is within logic. Whatever we see is within the understanding, the logical understanding of human understanding, let's say. So we are supposed to go beyond.